Hello, everybody. Here we are again for one more podcast. By the way, guys, before I say hello, it's number 10. We got to the 10th episode. It's amazing. And I am so happy today because I have a very dear friend of mine here. He's also a speech specialist. He's from London, but we both have a problem that we have the travel bug. So Ed is not in London right now. He's in Mexico. Welcome, Ed, to the show. Welcome, guys. How are you all? Ed, please start.
Hi, yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me, Rod. Yeah, I'm not in Mexico yet, but I'm in
Mm,
Colombia at the moment. But
hmm
I'm going to Mexico next week. So,
I get lost because he travels everywhere. I never know.
yeah,
I think I should have asked you, where in the world are you right now? But that's fine. Johncito, how are you?
Well, I'm pretty good, thank you.
Dev, how are you?
I'm always fine, and I'm also elated to be the part of your 10th episode here.
Yeah, thank you. It's all because of you guys. I can do that alone. So, Johnsito, let's start with the questions. Could you please ask the first one?
Okay. Well, hello again, guys. Well, first, welcome Ed to the podcast.
thanks.
Well, we always start with the same question. That is, what does friendship means to you?
Um, well, I guess friendship is just about being there for the people you care about. So, there's too many people in the world to really um, love and care for everybody. So we usually just choose a few people we like, who we get on well with, and we support them whenever they need support, and they support us whenever we need support. So yeah, I would say friendship is just about being there for the people you care about when they need your support. Yeah.
Awesome. I have a
Awesome.
question for somebody who's always traveling. How is it for you to manage all your new friends that you make along the way?
It's difficult, to be honest, because I guess one of the difficulties, or one of the challenges of traveling and moving country every 6 months is, you meet people, you make good friends, but then 6 months later you have to leave them, and that can be a bit sad. But luckily, with modern technology, we can still stay in touch with people. I can still send messages, things like that. And who knows, one day I might go back to that country, or that person might find me wherever I am in another country. So yeah, it's definitely challenging, and I do miss a bit of stability. Seeing the same people every day, seeing my friends from back home in England. But yeah, luckily with modern technology, I can still stay in touch with people who I meet along the way.
I hope you can come to Brazil to visit me next time, because if you don't, you'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm
Mhm.
joking, but uh Jonesito, what's question number two, please? Hello? I think it froze.
Yeah, I
Sorry, I
can't
was
hear
I was
anything.
mute.
It, it
Okay.
happens to Dev, it happens to me, it happens to you.
Yeah.
Uh
So I was saying, like Mr. Rod told us that you are also like a teacher, and I have a question. I guess like teaching is one of the most important profession in all world, and I want to know like why and when did you decide to become a teacher?
Well, I guess I actually became a teacher kind of by accident. I didn't originally train to become a teacher or want to be a teacher, to be honest. Um, but after university, I worked in an office for 5 years doing a pretty typical administration job, and I didn't really like it. You know, it's quite boring. There's just lots of paperwork. Not much human contact. You know, I was just chained to my desk, working on my computer all day. So after 5 years, I decided to quit, and I went traveling, and I was traveling in Peru in South America, and I actually got a job teaching English there in Peru. Initially, I just did it to so that I could stay a bit longer in the country. I could get a work visa and visit some more places. But I really liked it, and I enjoyed it so much that after Peru, I did some training courses to get qualified as an English teacher, and I'm still teaching now. So yeah, it was a bit of an accident, but I really enjoy it. I really enjoy the human aspect, just speaking to people every day and watching them improve. Compared to my previous job working in an office, it's a lot more rewarding. Yeah,
It's like an addiction, isn't it? When we see people learning from us, it's like a huge rush, when it's like going to the gym. When you see a student progressing and learning from us, it's really amazing. But let me ask you something, Ad. You have a quite curious name for your channel, and I really love the explanation. All your social media platforms, you call them lean English, and people sometimes mistake it with learn English. But why did you choose lean English pronunciation?
well, on hindsight, it probably wasn't the best choice of name because, like you said, people do get confused and they think I spelt the name wrong.
Mm-hmm,
They think the channel's called Learn English and
mm-hmm,
they think it's a typo. But I called it Lean English because lean uh, it means something which is efficient. Okay, there's no um,
mm-hmm.
extra fat. Basically, we use this word to talk about meat
Yeah,
often. Like lean meat is
yeah.
some meat which has no fat, basically.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And it's also used to describe some other things like engineering processes which are very efficient. And so I chose that name because I thought it kind of described approach to teach my approach to teaching English, which is
mm-hmm,
to focus on the most important things.
mm-hmm.
I just teach pronunciation,
Yes.
which I think is the most important part of a language, to be honest.
Oh,
Because
thank you for saying that. God bless you. Thank you for saying that. People, listen to this. Pronunciation is the most important part of English.
yeah,
Thank you so much. I'm so happy about it.
yeah,
But I can tell you guys that I know the answer for his channel's name because a long time ago, a couple years ago, we had an interview, and he told me this story, and I thought that the name of the channel was really cool, and I wanted him to repeat the explanation. But I really agree. And please follow the guy. Try to find Lean English pronunciation you can find anywhere. His job is on fleek or flawless, if I may say so myself. So, John Zito, what is the next question, my friend?
Well, right now is time for Dev's question.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Before Dev's question, we have a comment from Flippo, I guess. In my opinion, friendship is more than someone you meet during a trip. It's something
Deep.
deeper. What do you guys think?
Totally agree.
Dev, what do you think?
Uh,
Dev,
Mute.
you're
Yeah,
muted, Dev.
can't hear you.
yeah. What did you say? In my opinion, friendship is more than someone you met during a trip. It's something
Yeah,
deeper. Yeah,
yeah.
I agree actually.
Ed, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this is partly true. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I guess in English, we might use a different word to describe people who we only meet for a short
Mm-hmm.
time. We might call them an acquaintance.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Okay.
someone I know, but I don't necessarily consider them a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's true, lots of the people you meet when you're traveling are just acquaintances, but some of them you get on really well with, and the relationship it becomes a bit deeper, and they may become a friend that you have for your entire
Yeah.
life. Even if you don't necessarily see them every day, you can still have a deep
Yeah.
relationship with them.
I agree, and I also would like to add that for me, a friend is someone who's always there when you need them, no matter what. Like this podcast, for example, I reached out to Ed and say, let's do it together. He said, sure, when you need me there. And then I think this is a friendship. You know, we never met in person yet, but friendship is this. You need me, I'm there. You want to talk to me, I'm there. We can answer WhatsApp messages. We can answer the phone. If we don't have time, we can say, I talk to you in half an hour or I talk to you tomorrow. This is friendship, and I agree. You know, now, Dev, it's time for your question. Be careful because,
Why,
uh, be
why is it
careful.
so early today?
I don't know why. I don't know why. Because we have two funnier things to do after this. So you can ask
Okay.
your
Hmm.
question and then we go ahead.
My
Okay?
question is quite easy, or I can say interesting. As you have traveled so many countries in the world, please share some of the most memorable moments of your life, of your traveling life with us.
Wow, yeah, that's it's a pretty difficult question to answer because yeah, there are lots of memorable moments.
You can tell more
Mhm.
than one if you want to. We have time. Feel free.
I guess yeah, two moments which really um, stay in my memory are just visiting some incredible locations in South America. So one of them, I think Rod will be familiar with. It's the Iguazu Falls, which is an enormous waterfall on the border of Brazil, Argentina,
I
and
never been
Paraguay.
there.
No, but I'm
No.
sure you've seen pictures of it and you know about it. It's um,
Mm-hmm.
it's really enormous, and yeah, I've never been anywhere like that before. So
Mm-hmm.
seeing that waterfall was really incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Iguazu Falls, you mean, right?
yeah, Iguazu Falls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or as we call in Brazil, Foz do Iguaçu, ou
yeah.
Cataratas do Iguaçu.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh.
you forgot one thing to say. You missed coming to meet me in my rural town in the state
Hmm.
of São Paulo. But I am proud to say that in England, that lives in a city with the same number of inhabitants of my city. So I'm happy when I got that information from him. I was so happy because compared to India, Dev would laugh so hard because my rural town or my small town has nearly 20,000 people. Not even 20,000 people, nearly 20,000. So that's so much. That's so much fun. For me, my town is good to sleep, you know, and work, sleep and work. So, Johncito, what's next?
So Ed, every time that we we have like a guest here on podcast. Like Mr. Road, he always like give to us some information, and he say to me that you are not only a teacher but also a learner. Like you are learning Portuguese. So I'm also like a learning, and I'm learning English as well. And sometimes I learn English like with music. I try to sing. And I have a question for you related to it. Have you ever tried to sing like a music or song in Portuguese?
Uh, yeah, I'm not a big singer. I don't sing very often, but I listen to music in Portuguese, and there are some musicians who I really like, and I try and learn the words because, like you said, it's a good way to practice another language.
Who's your favorite from Brazil, by the way?
So I really like Jorge Benjor
Oh
and
wow,
um, Timmy Maya as
Tim
well.
Maia.
Jim Maya.
Tim Maia.
Yeah, and there's a few others who I can't remember right now, but I really like yeah, Brazilian music,
Yes,
especially, and so I try and
yes.
learn the words, and I try and sing along sometimes as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How
And
was your
I,
experience teaching in Brazil, Ed?
Well, I was teaching online. I was just living in Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
so the experience was the same
Mm-hmm.
as any other country, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. But
Um,
you taught Brazilian students as well?
no, my students come
No?
from all over the world.
Okay.
Occasionally, I have a Brazilian student,
Okay.
especially if they live in Europe. So I've had some
Mm-hmm.
Brazilian students who actually live in the UK or another European country,
Okay.
but it's not
Mm-hmm.
so common, to be honest. Um, yeah.
Sure. Because I saw that you had taught at a school in Brazil while you were here. Johnzito, I overlapped you. Sorry, go ahead. What was
oh, I was
your
asking like something. What was the most funniest, like the funniest word in Portuguese that you have learned?
Um, that's a good question. I can't really think of the funniest, but one of the words I like most, I think, is fofa or fofo.
fofa?
Oh,
Fofa, fofo.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Cute.
yeah.
You're
okay,
so
okay.
cute. Você é tão
So
fofo.
okay, Ed, let me tell you
I
something. Like I'm from Angola, and Angola is like a country who also speak Portuguese, and the Portuguese from Angola and from Brazil is a little bit different. It's like the British and American English.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, so
totally.
I want like to say something in Portuguese, and I would like you to answer me.
Okay.
Go
it,
slow,
it,
go slow.
Yes. Like, qual é a sua palavra favorita em português até agora?
Então, a minha palavra favorita é fofo.
Okay.
Fofo. So let's translate it into English.
Yes.
Johncito asked him, "What's your favorite Portuguese word?" And he said, "Cute," which is fofo, fofa.
Fofo.
It's so cute. Dev, you were saying something as well
yeah,
when we said it,
I
when we talked about fofo.
I was
Okay.
saying that the last question was biased because I don't know Portuguese. How can I understand?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you can learn it with me if you want to. I, I only know how to say namaste in Hindi, nothing else.
Me too.
You know, you know. And but well, I remember some time ago, Ed and I had some sessions where I helped him with Portuguese, and I asked him some questions about English, and he's really good. He's a fast learner. I think he's very calm and collect. I think we need to learn that from him because he's really cool. He talks softly, and I wish I could be like that as well. But I think Brazilians are very loud. We, hi, Josito, how are you? You know, what do you think, Dev? You spend more time with me and Josito. Do you agree that we are louder, or what do you think?
I think you are not louder, but you are so energetic, I can say.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
That's why you
So
sound loud.
by the way, I'm gonna get that from you. Ed, what is the trait from people that you admired the most while you were in Brazil?
The
From
trade.
Brazilians, by the way.
So do you mean like the
Yeah,
job?
what is it? What is a characteristic that they have that you really like?
Uh,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I think I guess it's kind of related to what Dev said. It's just the energy, the positive energy that Brazilian people have.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's reflected in the amount of parties there are in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there over Christmas and the carnival period, and there's constant parties from Christmas in December to Carnival or the end of
Mm-hmm.
Carnival in February. It's like every
Mm-hmm.
every weekend there were parties in the street, and yeah, it's just great fun. Everybody, different types of people, they all come together in the street to celebrate during these
Yeah.
parties.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's probably the thing I
By the
enjoyed most.
way, what was your favorite Brazilian drink? Or what is, because you still like it? What
Yeah.
is your favorite Brazilian drink?
Well, I really enjoyed caipirinhas. If we're talking
Caipirinha.
about, yeah, caipirinha.
I knew it. I was 100% sure that you would say that you like caipirinha. Could you
Yeah,
explain for them in English how caipirinha is made?
yeah, of course. It's really simple. I think anyone can make it. You need cachaça, which
Yeah,
is kind of similar to rum. I think it's
yeah,
a strong alcoholic
yeah,
drink made from sugarcane juice,
yeah, yeah.
and you mix that with lots of ice and lime juice and sugar, and I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody's everybody's crazy about caipirinha, you know? And I don't know about the name, but I can search and tell you next time.
Mhm.
Um there's a question from Guy. Guy is from Brazil and my moderator on Hello Talk as well. What motivates you every day? What is your motivation every day, Ed?
um, yeah, it's a good question. I think things like experiences like this motivate me every day. Okay, when you have a chance to speak with students and you see them improving, but also when I have my lessons, when I'm learning Portuguese or another language, and I feel like I did a really good job, I spoke very well, then I feel really good afterwards. I get a buzz, and that motivates me every day. Or if I can understand another song in Portuguese, or if one of my students understands a new idea or concept, then again that gives me a bit of a buzz, and that motivates me. So I think it's these, I guess, small exercises where we can see ourselves improving and we see other people improving every day. That's what motivates me, and I think that motivates other people as well.
That's nice. There was any word in Portuguese that you have mistaken that put you in a funny situation? Like I had a student once that he came to me and he said, "Could you lend me your janela? Could you lend me your window?" I said,
Uh-huh.
"What?" Could you lend me your window? I said, what do you mean by window? Window's that, but he said in Portuguese. He was learning Portuguese. He was an exchange student. I said, window is that thing. And I showed him a window. He said, no, the thing that you have, that you are um, wearing on your feet. I said, "Oh, chinelo." He confused flip-flops with window because the sound is the same. Like window in Portuguese is janela, and flip-flops is chinelo. So it was crazy, and I started laughing. It's here, you can have it, and I gave him my flip-flops. Do you have any kind of situation like this?
Yeah, I can think of a similar situation.
Uh,
And well, I think you will know this word boachi. I
Boate.
think in
Yes.
some parts of Brazil it means like a nightclub, a
Yes.
discotheque, but
Yes.
in other parts it means like a brothel,
Yes.
basically,
Yes.
where
Yes.
prostitutes are.
Yes.
Okay, and
Yes.
so for a long time in Brazil, I was telling everyone that I went to a boachi or I went to a really good boachi.
Yes. Yes.
I meant
Uh-huh.
nightclub, but they thought I was
But
talking about
it was a
a brothel.
brothel. Yes. 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 Yeah. But, yeah. And what do we call that now, Jonesito?
Sorry.
What do we call that now? We don't say buachi anymore. What do we say to those kinds of
Uh,
places?
Let me
I'm
see.
going
Bar,
to the disco. No,
discoteca,
where they
discoteca,
play
discoteca,
discoteca. Discoteca
discoteca.
is what we call it as well. Discoteca.
Mhm.
Oh, but in some places they call it. But if you told me that I went to a boate in Portuguese, I would say that you had gone to a place where there was music. I wouldn't associate. It depends on the region of the country that you are.
Mhm.
And before we go, what is the last question, Jonesito? I think it was a funny story. No, let's say
Yes,
you go ahead. You go ahead.
yes, yes. Is the funny story? Is the funny story?
That
So,
what that is your funniest story, Ad? Or do you have a funnier story to finish the podcast that you can share with us?
Um, I think that's the funniest one that I can remember right now. The
Mm-hmm.
funniest one involving, some sort of
Mm-hmm.
uh, mistake with language. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
but
that's good.
yeah, I
Mm.
mean, there's definitely other situations which I can't remember right now,
Mm-hmm.
because I make mistakes all the time when I'm speaking another language. It's
Mm-hmm.
just part of the learning process.
Mm-hmm.
If I say something silly or embarrassing, it helps me to remember the correct word next time. So
Yeah, of course. We all do. We
yeah.
all do. I make mistakes. Once I was in the States and I needed to speak English, and I wanted to know the time, and I turned to the person who spoke English at the time and I said, "Que horas são?" Que horas são is what time is it in Portuguese? And the person, "I don't understand you." And "Que horas são?" I still don't understand. Then when I really woke up, I remember where I was and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. What time is it?" "Oh, now I can understand what you're asking me." And that was really, really funny. But these situations are really good to help you learn. As Ed said, we never make the same mistake again. But let me tell you guys before we go, I talked to Ed in Portuguese before we started the show, and I can tell you that he's speaking Portuguese even better than I can speak Portuguese. So it's really good. So Ed, can you leave a message to the audience to keep them so they can stay motivated to study English?
Yeah, of course.
Hmm.
I guess my advice would be to find something related to the language which you
Hmm.
really enjoy. So find something about the culture which you really enjoy. So if you're
Hmm.
learning English, maybe you enjoy watching American films, for example,
Hmm.
or maybe you really enjoy listening to British rock bands or musicians or something like that.
Hmm.
Find something that you really enjoy because that will motivate you every day. Um, when you're listening to new music and you're reading the words, you're understanding the words, you'll
Mhm.
notice those improvements every day,
Mhm.
and that will just continue to motivate you. That's what I do when I'm learning other languages, and I think everyone can learn from that. Yeah.
I totally agree. Josito, what is the name of the band, the British band that you really love that you told me during our interview uh, to
I
see
for
if
I
Ed
I
knows about them?
what which what did you say?
What was the band that you told me during our interview that you really
I
liked from
guess
England?
was the script or Maroon 5, but
Maroon 5 is
is
American.
American.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought
Do
American.
you
I
know
read
do you know this band, Ed? The script?
Um, I don't know the script. No, I know Maroon Five. They're quite a popular
Hmm.
band, but no, I've never heard of the script.
like
Well,
the song is
go
like
ahead.
The Man Who Can Be Moved is a really popular song
Hmm.
from the script.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. By the way, we lost. No, Dev is back.
Papa.
Dev is back. So, to finish, I would like to thank you, Ed, for being such a kind friend and for being with us for half an hour to talk about friendship and other stuff. So, Dev, what are your last words for today?
Actually, I left the room by mistake. Uh, it was really nice to talk with you on your 10th episode, and you can
Mm-hmm.
ask me any question if you have any, Mr. Ed.
Mm,
So, what motivates you to keep learning English?
Okay. Actually, uh, in India, the scenario is quite different. Here, the English is like a class. If you know English, you will get better opportunities and you will get some more benefits as living here. So that's why I'm learning English, and everyone here learns English for this reason.
Yeah. So it can give you more opportunities or better opportunities in the future.
Yeah,
It's a pretty good motivation. Yeah.
that's correct.
if you wanna make Jonesito to stay motivated, you can talk to him about accounting because that's what he's studying, you know. So, Jonesito, what are your last words before we go?
Yeah, yeah. It was also like a pleasure to have you here with us, and I hope to see you another time also.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, Ed, once again, thank you so very much for being here with us, for taking your time. And in Colombia, where in Colombia are you, by the way?
I'm in Medellin at the moment.
Okay, Medellin. All right, I hope I can be there one day, someday. I don't know.
Yeah.
Before we go, I would like to let you know that John Zito and Nikita they have commitments for the next weeks to come. So there will be days that Nikita will be here. There will be days that John Zito will be here. There will be days that none of them will be here, and we will have guests to replace them. But they're not going to disappear. John Zito has something that he's going to do for 4 or 5 weeks. But Dev and I will be here with a couple of guests for you. And by the way, I would like to proudly tell you that next week we have with us one of the competitors from the battles. Mr. Ghazi is going to be here with us next week for a very good interview and for a very fun time. And please, once again, follow, subscribe my friend Ed. Try to find him, it's very easy. His handle is Lean English Pronunciation. His content is flawless, and I'm really proud to be friends with this guy. He's amazing. Thank you so much once again, Ed, for being here. Thank you, everybody at home who watched us. Leave your comment down below if you like the conversation. And guys, see you next week.
See you.
Joncito, Dev, see you. Ad, thanks again. Thanks everybody. Bye bye. See you. Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thanks.
Later.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Later.